Wild horses roam free at the Wild Horse Sanctuary in Shingletown, California. It's a safe haven and a home to more than 300 rescued mustangs.
The wild horses, I think, have earned their place in America's history. They've done us a good job. They've carried us west. They helped open up the West, and so we do what we can for as many as we can, and we tell the story.
The journey of saving horses began for rescuer Diane Nelson when she was faced with a life-altering decision.
Over 30 years ago, when the government first started catching wild horses, there were not enough people coming forward or even knew about the program. So at the end of one of our contracts to remove horses from the Modoc National Forest, 80 horses were going to be shot and buried. And that was just more than we could stomach. So we said, we'll take them. We weren't sure what we were going to do with them. We just didn't want them to be killed.
That's when Diane created the Wild Horse Sanctuary, 5,000 fenced-in acres that sprawl across lush, lava-strewn mountains and forest land near Mount Lassen. In 3 decades, Diane has taken in almost 1,000 wild horses to live out their lives in peaceful protection. There are 30,000 wild horses roaming public lands across the western part of the U.S. Each year, the government gathers wild horses to place for adoption.
Sometimes when somebody comes to me with more horses that need a home, or especially if it's large numbers, we really have to think about it. And I go back to the beginning and I say, we didn't have anything but 80 hungry horses to think about. Well, now the sanctuary does have a home. And we've got a support base. We know people care. Our big job has turned out to be telling the story. Come over here, right in front of him, and hold your steed.
Diane is telling that story through opening her gates to tourists for day trips or week-long horse journeys through the hills of Wild Horse Sanctuary.
Come on up here.
Even in the pouring rain, 84-year-old Elmo Butts and his daughter Peggy Benton are horseback, headed on a 3-hour trek to our overnight campsite. All along the way, we stop and watch horses in the wild.
I don't think a lot of people understand the plight of the wild mustangs, and this is beautiful. They're out here. This is where they live, and I think it's great.
Well, it's just something that most people don't get a chance to see. And I think everybody should get out here and see it. I can't put into words what I feel.
Food's on!
The clouds clear and it's time for a campfire dinner.
There you go. Just a camp roll.
And some rest and relaxation. And at dinner time, the wild horses get closer and closer. This is our cabin here at the Wild Horse Sanctuary, and right outside of our door, look, 2 wild horses. So what will you go back and tell people about this experience?
You know, once in a while you take a little side trip, and it's nice when you're out doing it, and a year or 2 later you don't remember it. This one you'll remember it.
I've had people say that it's as much a sanctuary for people too, though, because in today's hectic world, I think we all would like to be able to have a piece of life like they do, you know, some freedom to be themselves and just enough food. They're not looking for more, they just need enough. And that's what we hope we can give them here.